Greetings, folks. Iolair here. Today I've got a replay from myself in the tier-VIII Royal Navy Light Cruiser HMS Edinburgh. This is a match I played back in May as part of regrinding the Royal Navy Light Cruisers, which ultimately allowed me to get enough research points to pick up the Siegfried, and I'll leave links to the videos I've done about the Siegfried in the description below. Now in this match, I'm in a division with Jimmy Jazz in the U.S. Navy destroyer USS Kidd, and with USS Irwin M. Fletcher in the Implacable. We are in a tier-VIII domination match here on Northern Waters. Obviously carriers are involved, and there are just a couple of destroyers per team. My build is kind of my standard close support destroyer build for the Royal Navy Light Cruisers. At this point, I think I had 18 points on the Commander, and I did pick up the 19th point before I moved over to the Edinburgh as part of the regrind, and I think I put the last 2 points into Last Stand. So before I get to the gameplay, I first need to offer an apology, not to the Miyoko player that I just sunk, but I owe an apology to my viewers. So yesterday I posted a video offering a fairly concise, or what had intended to be a concise set of guidance around how to decide which ships to play in ranked. It was intended to be not so much of a play these ships and you will win, or these are the best ships to play, but really was more intended to be like just some my general philosophy on how to choose ships for playing in ranked. And I think the video kind of came off as a little bit clickbaitish because I may have titled the video poorly, or the description of the video wasn't quite right. Plus, I don't know whether I came off as being a little bit condescending, which was not my intention. I was just trying to have something that was succinct and clear without getting hopefully too preachy, and get into a lot of detail and ranting. So again, I apologize to anybody who really didn't care for yesterday's video, and was maybe put off a little bit by it. So apologize. I'll try to avoid doing situations like that in the future, but just to give you my perspective on my intentions in that video. So let's go ahead and get to this gameplay. I actually started this replay several minutes into the match because Jimmy Jazz and I went to Bravo and took that completely uncontested. And when I started the replay, at least, or for this video, I should say, we were already headed over to Alpha to help secure that cap. I did take down the Miyoko, and we're picking on this poor Monarch that is now just run aground, and he's not going to be in the game too much longer, unfortunately. We do have a Vesteros that was last seen on the west side of Alpha. And because my hydro had gone down, the way I had positioned in the cap, and there's the Vesteros, my intention was to basically have my stern directed to his last known location, so that when he next sent torpedoes, if he sent them into my smoke, I would have an easier opportunity to escape those torpedoes and get out. In this case, Jimmy Jazz has lit up the Vesteros, and we're going to put some pretty concentrated fire on him and take him out of the match as well. So we've done a pretty good job wiping out this west side of the enemy team. But the challenge is, and I do take down the Vesteros, which is cool. But the challenge now is that we're going to have to decide this battle at Bravo, because the opponents are very strong on that side. They did take Charlie, and they're going to gradually be making their way over to the Bravo cap. In fact, we see the second of the two destroyers on the opposing team just east of Bravo, and also there's a London over there, and a Hipper has moved to the north side, trying to drive off this Alabama that's very far north now, has moved up almost to the Alpha line, and again going to cut back over here to Bravo. So one of the threats that I have here is, unfortunately, we do lose our North Carolina. Again, that was our battleship that was over on the Charlie side. One of the challenges that I have here, is I want to be able to defend the cap from the second of the two destroyers. I think it's an Öland and the London. But with the Hipper on my broadside to my port side, I should say, he's got my broadside, and as anybody knows, I like my German cruisers, and German cruisers have very strong AP, especially against broadside targets like Edinburgh. So I have to be a little bit careful here. In fact, I am getting targeted now. I think at this point, I'm assuming it's the Öland, but I think I actually get fired upon here by the hipper. Yes, there it is. In fact, I was very lucky to not take more damage, and it's at this point that I realize it's the hipper that's firing at me, not the Erlon that's targeting me. So I'm going to slow and cut in here to avoid that next salvo of AP, and going to need to stay bow in for the moment until either the hipper decides to focus something else. Ooh, there are torpedoes from the Erland. Uh, Decide for the hipper to target somebody else. Again, I was pretty lucky there. I didn't take more damage. But now move back over to Bravo, where I'm now in concealment, and hold my fire until I can get to the south side of the island that's in the middle of the cap, because that will help protect my broadside from the hipper, and I can focus on either trying to get the Erland down. Actually, the Erland has already gone down, or at least we can defend now against the London, which is also another heavy cruiser with some pretty potent AP. And again, this is a target that if he's going to fire AP at my broadside, he might be able to do some pretty serious damage. Right now, he's not targeting me. Oh, no, now he is. That was a pretty good salvo on him. I'm going to have to rotate in here to try to avoid a pretty big hit. That was pretty fortunate. I didn't take too much damage there. Our Ashitaka takes down the hipper that was on our north flank, so that helps. Ooh, there's a citadel on the London. That's cool. But that definitely helps us maintain some protection here on the north side, and we can move to focus on the opponents that are now pushing out from the south side of Charlie back towards Bravo. I'm going to use my smoke screen here, and between Jimmy Jazz and the Kid, as well as Irwin in the Implacable, they're going to keep this flank lit, and I can fire from concealment with relative ease. Now I'm starting to shoot down some more planes. I'm up to 13 planes, and the theme, or the title of the video, is HMS No Planes. So you can kind of guess where this is going to end up going, because I'm going to be shooting down. In fact, I just shot down 5 more planes, so I'm up to 17, but I have quite a few more to come. So things look pretty good at this point. We are even on ships, but we hold 2 caps, and our position is actually not too bad. We have the Alabama that was over north of Alpha is way up on the Alpha line. There's Confederate. That's cool. I'm going to try to finish off this Nagato as quickly as we can. And also we saw the Lexington, but most of our force is down here able to provide some very good defense and positioning against the opponents that are pushing over from Charlie. I'm going to shoot down some more planes here. I'm not sure why the Lexington keeps flying over my smoke, because the Edinburgh has really pretty strong AA for its tier, and it can cut down planes pretty readily. Trying to get this Nagato down. He's turned in, and this is one of the areas where the Royal Navy light cruisers sometimes have challenges, is that when they have heavily armored targets that they're shooting at their bow, although I do the torpedo certainly helps taking down the Nagato, this AP from the Royal Navy light cruisers will tend to bounce a lot, and you really won't get much in the way of damage if they're bow on or stern on. So my smoke is expiring. I'm going to back up here so I stay in concealment as long as I can, try to get turned around, and head over to Charlie to see if we can back cap and get ourselves some insurance on a win here. We are still even on ships, so here I'm getting lit by planes, and so I decide I might as well just fire my guns and start working on this Gneisenau, but I do think I'm going to start moving over. I expected the Gneisenau would be targeting me here, but I think it's actually the Pensacola. So the Pensacola is firing HE, so that's not too much of an issue. I'm going to make a turn here, which is fairly risky, so that if the Gneisenau decides that he is going to fire at me, he's got my flat broadside to shoot at, but it's still he's not firing on me. He's firing on the Pensacola, my Pensacola that's behind me, and he does take down our Pensacola, and I'm going to be able to slip behind some terrain here and stay in concealment or get some insulation against the Gneisenau, although he is about to go down here with fires, and I'm firing on him, and there's my 4th kill. Here comes some more airplanes for me to shoot down to. Do I get any more here? I don't remember. Well, at least I get 2 more, so I'm up to 29. So I'm 6 short of getting a defense expert, and the like I said, the Edinburgh does have quite competent AA for its tier. Moving over towards Charlie, we do detect the aircraft carrier. At this point, I was kind of hoping that maybe I could try to get my Kraken. We do have a one-ship advantage. We have a very substantial point lead, over 400 points, and I don't feel too threatened by the carrier because obviously I've been able to cut down a lot of his planes pretty readily. There's 30 planes shot down. Not sure if I'm going to shoot any more down from that squadron, but I'm up to 30 planes. So 5 more to go to get an AA defense expert. In fact, at this point, I don't think I've even used a heal on my ship. I've used a couple of smokes and a couple of hydros. Yeah, haven't needed to use a heal, which is nice if you are able to play well enough. And this is also a reflection of being able to play well enough with radar. So to a particular colleague that follows me on Facebook who's very adamant about playing radar. I do play radar periodically, but when I know that there's going to be the fun police, specifically carriers, I tend to prefer to play with smoke so that I can get into concealment. I'm not too afraid of the planes themselves. It's being detected that's the issue. And using radar with the Royal Navy light cruisers, you basically need to be able to cut into concealment in case you get caught out in the open, detected by planes, and then you suddenly have 4 battleships firing at you. But in this case, I did, like I said, I did use smoke, and we're winding down here to the last few seconds. I am going to get some more salvos off here on the Edinburgh, but I'm still 3 short of getting an AA defense expert. So hoping he's going to come over here and put some more planes on me so I can try to shoot them down and earn some more, not only some more ribbons, but also pick up some signals, which would be cool. And here comes some bombers coming in, and he's coming within my AA range. I'm going to shoot down enough. There's 1. I need 2 more. There's 2. I need 1 more. There's 3. There's the AA defense expert as time is just about to expire. I'm unfortunately not going to get my Kraken here and sink the Lexington, excuse me. But this was a really good match. And the Edinburgh is a very fun ship. So if you have yet to pick her up, or if you haven't visited her in a while, she is a lot of fun and very good to play. So I hope you enjoyed the replay and the commentary. Please do leave your comments below. And as always, we hope to see you out there on the virtual seas, and we wish you happy sailing.